We here at Second Wind are well into our second year as a content-producing powerhouse, and we're hoping to keep going into a third, and perhaps even dare we dream a fourth. By donating as little as $1 a month to our Patreon, you can be a part of helping us keep going. If you want to be part of ensuring the existence of one of the few professional gaming media outlets that isn't being ruined and or shut down by corporate bastards, go to patreon.com/secondwindgroup and please consider giving whatever you can spare. And if you don't want to do any of that either, I don't know, take up cycling, it's good core exercise.
A humanoid.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 68 for Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. I got the wrong T-Day. I almost said Tuesday. Marty, we're here joined by Casey Wosu, Nick Calandra, and producer Eric. We have a lovely show for you this evening. We're going to be talking a little bit about Street Fighter, the movie, the casting. Four cast members have been added to the Street Fighter movie. I believe all of us are excited for different reasons. I think you two are excited for one person in particular, and I'm excited for one person in particular. And it's my tribal chief. But we're going to talk about that movie. If we have high hopes, low hopes, and the fact that it's being directed by a man who's best known for directing a bunch of the Eric Andre show. Which I think is great. I think the Eric Andre show is great.
The Eric Andre show is kind of legendary in some circles.
This guy also directed some Twisted Metal, so I think he's got he's got his video game pedigree. Also gonna be chatting a little bit about Liza P. It's getting a big DLC expansion prequel thing later on in the summer. But also news came out that it's getting a bunch of added things to the core game, like a boss rush mode and various kind of post game stuff, as well as 2 new difficulty modes, both easier than what the game is. So
that is a tough game.
Yeah, so just kind of want to chat about that. I know you guys are both big fans of Liza P, so just kind of what your temperature is on that. And then as you see, our main topic will be Randy Pitchford of Borderlands Gearbox fame. He did it again. He did it again. He said a thing that he shouldn't have said, and everyone got mad. And we're going to talk about his comments regarding the potential $80 price point of Borderlands 4 and why, if you're a real fan, you'll just pay it. You don't know any better. So we'll chat about that a little bit. We did it, guys. I mean, we haven't done like this is the start of the show. We did it. We got past the intro. Now we just got to do the things I talked about.
Okay. I mean, that shouldn't be too hard.
No, that seems pretty easy.
We never go off topic.
We've never gone off topic. And remember, I already see a bunch of super chats coming in. Thank you all so much. We'll read those in a bit and appreciate all of your patronage, your memberships, listening to us on your podcast service of choice. You saw that little Patreon ad. Every little bit helps. Support us in making shows like this, streams like the ones you love. Dokapon, which we're doing this weekend, 6 hours of it. Casey, Jesse, and myself will be doing it on Saturday starting at 11 a.m. So appreciate all of that support from each and every one of you.
Fun times for sure.
Hell yeah. You know who don't need any support? The world champions. Is that what they're called in Street Fighter? The world challengers?
No, the world warriors?
The World Warriors. The World Warriors. Okay, this isn't live. We'll take it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back from the top. You know who doesn't need? I already forgot what the segue was.
Can't even get to the first topic.
Fuck. The Street Fighter movie is officially in pre-production. It was originally going to be directed by the 2 Australian brothers who directed the horror breakout movie a few years ago, Talk to Me. They pulled out, and now a director who's best known for, like I mentioned, the Eric Andre show, Bad Trip, the Eric Andre movie, as well as he directed 4 episodes of the Twisted Metal series, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah, people seem to like that a lot.
Yeah, in terms of video game adaptations. Directing a Street Fighter movie, and 4 folks have been added to the cast, including Andrew Koji as reportedly as Ryu, Noah Centineo as Ken, and then in unconfirmed roles, Jason Momoa, and the scuttlebutt is WWE superstar Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, might be playing Akuma, who's like a big angry Ryu, right? He's like Ryu's mad grandpa ghost.
Yeah, I'm not like the most well versed on like the super lore of Street Fighter or whatever, but Akuma, I think, either had beef or was an original teacher of the same teacher that Ryu and Ken had. So he's just kind of like an old bad egg.
Okay, yeah, he's like he keeps like bumming around is the same high school.
Yeah, like he used to play football, and then like there was a scandal, like some kids got hurt, somebody was stabbed. Just always
Andrew Koji, though, you guys are excited because Andrew Koji is one of the leads in Warrior and Gangs of London. Is that right?
Well, he was the lead in Warrior, and he'll be joining the cast of Gangs of London in their.
Gotcha.
I think their new season is airing now on like Sky TV or whatever, but
it is airing on
Netflix. So I think it is.
Oh,
I'm not sure though.
Across the pond. And those are obviously action heavy shows, so that excites you. That this guy bringing kind of a physical presence, if he is playing Ryu, who I assume will be the anchor of this movie.
I mean, yeah, like Ryu has been the face of Street Fighter for a long time now.
Yeah.
But they've sort of pivoted away from him in like more recent games. Like Ryu's there and he's a staple, but like they're trying to give more shine to the younger cast. Of course, as an adaptation, they're going to go back to their roots, so it's probably going to be
characters from like the Super Nintendo version, plus like lost characters or whatever.
Street Fighter 2 in particular, I think they would want to focus on because a lot of folks in chat probably know, like, yeah, there have been adaptations of that storyline before in anime that have done very, very well, as well as like that YouTube series, Street Fighter Legacy, Legends, something like that. They had like an L name. And that was like a YouTube series that had like a bunch of episodes that was actually really well shot and done story-wise. It's the movie adaptations that have been kind of a clusterfuck.
Are you saying the Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia movie?
Well, people love it now, right? Sure,
it's silly. Yeah.
Yeah, for just how bad it is. And it's a fun time to just watch and laugh at. But like they had that Chun-Li backstory movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was god-awful.
Yeah, The Legend of Chun-Li.
And I think there might have been another like offshoot or maybe enough production. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just movie-wise, these just haven't done anything. And I don't know if it's because, they haven't taken it seriously. But everything is a buzz in Hollywood about video games as IP now. So like, but I mean, we're getting the director of 4 episodes of Twisted Metal. I don't know if that's the pedigree.
And the Eric Andre movie.
And the Eric Andre movie, you're right. I mean, as fun as those things might have been, like that does not speak to whether or not this will turn out either good or bad. So like, it's really hard to say. I'm excited for it because I can see the potential of the property and stuff, though.
Yeah, they're also casting, several people who have either been in action movies or have a physical background, like in martial arts or wrestling or something like that.
The Roman Reigns thing worries me. I'll be honest.
Oh, I think he's a bad actor. I think he's a bad actor in wrestling.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Everyone, like wrestling fans, don't like him. Like he's been forced on wrestling fans. Like this is what I've heard from my big.
But we've come around to it. He came back. He got like leukemia.
Did he?
And he came back, and the leukemia made him cool.
Okay, I'm not going to.
Wrestling fans out there will know he left. He was lame. He got leukemia, and then he became cool. I'm not saying that happens for everyone, but it happened for him.
I don't know what to say to that, but
I need one person in chat to agree with me. Otherwise, that is the weirdest place to be hung out to dry.
I have nothing to add to this. You're on your own.
Super Eye Patch Wolf made a whole video about it. He's Irish. He wouldn't lie.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, but coming from the country of the guy with a fake pot of gold.
All right. That's you're on the hook now. I'm fine. And did you guys see the Mortal Kombat movie, the recent one?
I did. Yeah, it could use some work.
It was.
It was a bit of a misfire. Like again,
the opening was great.
Yes,
and that was it.
It really was.
Yeah, the rest of it was not good.
Oh man, like that also had such potential, but like it was. And the thing is, it was a choice that movie made to try and bring in. For whatever reason, they were like, this movie needs to appeal to a bunch of people, so we need to give a character that no one has heard of, and have that character do as much explaining about what this world is as possible. And that just the whole movie wasn't about what Mortal Kombat was about. It was about trying to explain to people what Mortal Kombat is about, to the point where they didn't even do Mortal Kombat in the movie.
Mortal Kombat movie should just be the fighting scenes from Warrior for an entire movie. That's all it needed to be.
Mortal Kombat, some fun, dumb lore in it.
In the 90s.
This movie was fine. Not bad. Yeah, I liked it.
This was a COVID movie. This was one of the Project Popcorn Warner Brothers movies that was released straight to HBO Max. And so I don't know. I was depressed. I thought the world was ending. Now we're getting a sequel. Carl Urban's playing Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, yeah.
That's a good Johnny Cage.
That's a perfect fit.
That is a good fit. Shout out to Carl Urban, friend of the shows. Great. So I think in conclusion, we all suspect the Street Fighter movie to win several Oscars.
Yeah,
Leukemia survivor Roman Reigns.
It will overtake Mario as the best video game movie.
Did you hear the scuttlebutt? Mario 2 is going to be called Super Mario World. Got me excited.
Ooh.
Got me excited. That's a good name.
That's not fair. Game. That's not fair.
Why is that not fair?
Like they just named their movie after like just one of the most legendary video games of all time. Like
then you make a Mario Galaxy, and then you do a cheeky little spin-off, Mario Sunshine. That's the beach episode. Mario shirtless the whole time.
That's a straight to VHS. No one has VHS anymore.
Went to the same place that one episode of Dragon Ball Z went. The other news story, which I mentioned at the top, Liza P. Some of the first previews came out for the expansion prequel that's like snow based. I believe it's called Overture. That's coming out later this summer. But, aside from being kind of a substantial expansion DLC content update, it's also getting a bunch of free updates to the core game that'll be available to everyone, not just people who buy this expansion. And those, like I said, include kind of post-game boss rush modes. Like you can refight any fight from the game. You can also kind of set up your own like gauntlet of like, I want to fight these 4 bosses in a row and see if I could do it all on like the same character, which is insane, but like I think that's pretty neat. But also one of the things is it's bringing 2 new difficulty modes called Butterfly's Guidance and Awakened Puppet, and both of which are easier than the current default difficulty mode, which is just being renamed Legendary Stalker.
It's like a choice to name.
It's interesting to me that they didn't make an easier mode and a harder mode. It's interesting to me that they made 2 easier modes, which to me say something that they got probably a shit ton of feedback of people who were like really wanted to play this game. It was very difficult because it sounds like this is like among the harder. But I guess this is more like the Sekiro level. Like you gotta buy into its speed. Like you can't kind of cheese your way through. Like you just can't be a sorcerer like me and be like, I'm just gonna cheese my way through this game and get to the
end. With just the last third of the game has a real serious difficulty spike to it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like when you get to like that castle near the end, like holy shit, that was stupid hard.
Yeah, and it starts to drag a little bit because like those end areas, there are many of them, and they are all very big.
Yeah. Really good game. I'm excited for this DLC. Like I will most certainly be jumping back into it.
Yeah, as much as I love all the Souls games and stuff, it's very rare that I go back to one that I finished to do DLC, even though I always hear good things about DLC. Even Bloodborne, I never went back to do Old Hunters. But like I was itching to just like replay Liza P when I was done with that. So like I might spend some more time in that world with this new content.
It's also an interesting because by and large for all the FromSoft DLCs, it is just a much harder chunk of the game. I think all of the DLCs for Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring are main game but harder. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it feels like it is catering to very much a certain percentage of the fans you already have. Whereas with this, and by opening up those difficulty options, I do think it's like a smart way for them to broaden their audience. They're already clearly working on a full sequel. The story teases, if you finish the game or had Casey tell you what happens at the end, you'll know what that's what happened with me. I was like, I'm not gonna finish this game. Tell me what happens at the end. You'll know some ideas they can go with the sequel, which are pretty topical given certain things in popular culture nowadays. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's cool. I think this
Yeah,
is
it's smart.
Did Lords of the Fallen ever get like a bit? I know it got like updates. Did it ever get like a big old chunky expansion?
No, they just did their 2.0 update, and the CEO of the company is on his Gamergate triad over on Twitter, and he fired the whole marketing team after the game came out, and then a couple people contacted me a couple weeks ago that he fired all the leads from the sequel because they couldn't meet his crazy demands. And so they're doing like this whole baloney PR shit on Twitter with like these really dumb scripted videos trying to pump it up. I'm very upset.
Be like, it wasn't me, it was the Umbral.
Yeah, I'm very upset that they're making me not want to support the sequel because you guys know I love the Lords of the Fallen game we got.
Are those? Is that title like just cursed? Maybe. like Lords of the Fallen had. It was like one of the first copycats for the Souls-like formula, and it was like, and it was like a games with gold drop at some point too, when that was like a brand new thing. So like a ton of people knew about it, wanted to try it, and got their hands on it, and then it just shit the bed because it was awful, and they got a second chance. Very few games get that.
Well, it sort of. Deck 13 made the first game, and they went on to make the Surge after that. This was a whole new development team built to make this game.
And they kind of nailed it. Like I had my issues with the launch version, which they fixed in post. But they found an audience. They kind of nailed it, and this franchise finally. And then again,
the CEO destroys the
CEO
team.
Shits the bed.
Yep.
I mean, at the very least, it's the only CEO of a company that's ever like actively working against the creative employees who are making the games. Oh wait, what is this? I'm just getting word.
Oh, this just in.
A Randy Pitchford is in feels like a decent segue.
Pitchford has appeared.
It feels like a decent segue to our main topic, which we're going to touch a little bit on this Randy Pitchford stuff, but also, I mean, honestly, it is kind of funny it kind of lumps in with the Lords of Shadow thing, but also a little bit about the marathon stuff, just like companies maybe taking their fan bases for granted. A lot of times I'm on the side of companies against shitty fans because there's a lot of fans who can be very shitty.
That's true.
And sort of feel entitled and be incredibly shitty towards the people who make things that they enjoy. On the flip side, some companies can be shitty and kind of use their fans and sort of use the FOMO of their fans. And we see this in almost every big, property. And the latest, this story, in case you missed it, it actually happened like a few weeks ago. Randy Pitchford responded to a random tweet of a guy pretty much being like, I don't know if this was after GTA or whatever, pretty much being like, Randy, I hope you don't make your game $80. Like, keep it affordable for all the people who want to support it. And he replied that it wasn't his call, which I think I disagree.
It
might not be, but you
the publisher's call.
Got some say.
Sure, it's not his call, but I think he could really put
he could fight for it. Yeah.
Yes, he could fight for it. So to be like, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm sure you have a seat at the table where this decision's being made. And then for the $80 price tag, he said, quote, if you are a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for the Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. And I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach. And I found a way to make it happen.
See, the point he's making may be true, but don't fucking say it as the CEO. Like, Jesus.
Also, don't say it when you are like,
rich, filthy rich.
He's generationally rich.
Yeah. I would also say that the point he's making is out of date. Like, it's the same thing that my parents say, or that boomer people say when millennials are out looking for jobs. Like, back in my day, I put myself through college. Like, you literally can't do that anymore, Grandpa.
Why don't you just go to the office of the place you want to work at with your resume? They'll hire you. No, Mom, that's insane.
I took it as more as like, you want to buy an Xbox, save up some money and buy it. But in this context of him being rich, it doesn't work.
And this is the shittiest time to say. Like, we've spent several episodes this year already talking about tariffs impacting hardware and software prices, Xbox going up in price 5 years into a generation, the Switch games, being planting a flag in the sand and being, $80 at launch. So it just feels like such a tone deaf thing to say particularly at this time in the world, and only speaking to the US, but like financially times are fucking tough. Like work is hard to come by, and just regular I need to survive things are incredibly expensive, let alone, the escapism that we all love jumping into.
Yeah, I think my main thing I took away from this is just like the absolute, not disdain, but just milking of fans that companies are doing with, we've talked before about 2 days of early access release. Got to get in there 2 days early, pay us an extra $10. Like, just fans can't.
Collector's edition.
Yeah, like this, I don't want to like. It's kind of hard to discuss some of this because a lot of it's been wrapped up in that kind of culture war stuff, but like the toxic positivity where you have to support everything, you have to do this, you have to do that. And it's like, well, like you're going to sit there and not only are you going to ask me for $80 for Borderlands 4, but you're also going to ask me to pay another $10 to play it early. You're going to ask me to buy the DLC. You're going to ask me to buy the golden key drops or whatever they do. Like, get the fuck out of here, Randy. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah, it also just feels like again, like stepping on a rake for a game that's hasn't had a bad showing so far, but I don't feel like it's like people aren't like foaming at the mouth for this game.
I've always been very perplexed at the fandom around the Borderlands series. Like I understood it back around the 2 days. Like Borderlands 2 was a big deal, but then they went a really long time with nothing, and then 3 was, at least to me, not that impressive. Like they haven't released anything that impressive since they've been back on this Borderlands is back train.
Yeah.
So for him to try and suggest that, oh well, this won't be a problem for the real fans. What if he's right? What if everyone goes, you know what, you're right. I'm not a real fan. I was just gonna see what it was like at $70.
Yeah.
And therefore, this very hardcore Borderlands audience are the only people who pay this price for it. Like, it's gonna sell like shit. Because I don't think there are that many real quote unquote fans of the Borderlands franchise. You got to get new people in if you want to make a shit ton of money.
Well, especially Borderlands 2, you mentioned, was a like an incredible success. Borderlands, I think it sold 30 million copies. Like it has sold more than like Mario Odyssey. I think it is sold like the same number as like Elden Ring, which Elden Ring is obviously much newer, but like it is in a rarefied atmosphere in terms of popularity of
like that game is the reason why Gearbox still exists to this day in my mind, because other than the Borderlands series, and I feel like I've said this before, they have not done anything else noteworthy. Yeah. It's just Borderlands, and they've released a lot of other games. A lot of those games are historically awful. Some of the stuff that they've released, like they're especially they're not like forgettable, though they have published some things that are forgettable. But games that they themselves have released have been some of the worst games released outside of Borderlands. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then the other things, a lot of them are like niche. Like Brothers in Arms was always incredibly niche. But yeah, for those you have your Alien Colonial Marines, which is just like, what the fuck happened here? Yeah, it's I don't know. It sucks. And this game coming out now, like obviously Borderlands 2 is also kind of responsible for the rise of the hero shooter, which is also a genre that's kind of fallen out of vogue or transformed a little bit. You know, Destiny obviously took a lot of those ideas and ran with it in their multiplayer space. But yeah, like how the pendulum always swings, it feels like the concept of the hero shooter feels like it peaked 10 years ago.
You're saying hero shooter. Do you mean looter shooter?
I do. Yes, I think I mean looter shooter. But hero shooters are more like Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
sorry. No, I meant
Overwatch. And
so sorry. I meant looter shooter, but also looter shooter, but there's a part of hero shooters there, right? Where you choose one of the characters and they have their own thing, and kind of that is the way you play. Same thing in Destiny, right? Like you choose an archetype.
Yeah, like they're class based.
Yeah. You're not just like building a character from the ground up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They have a class, but then you go through the classes tree. And that's the same thing as like a Diablo or a World of Warcraft, which are these loot heavy experiences as well.
Yeah,
so
looter shooter is that was the term I was looking for, not hero shooter. But yeah,
I was just a little confused. That's all.
I just you know what the problem was? I had Battleborn on the brain. I'm always thinking of Battleborn.
Yeah, Battleborn was, I think, their version of a hero shooter. Yeah.
What if? Do you think there's a separate timeline where Battleborn was a huge hit?
No. I think in every timeline of the infinite timelines,
you think Doctor Strange is out here watching them all? He's like, "Oh fuck, this game never hits." Shit. Poor Doctor Strange.
He's still
without going too deep into it, like Nick, your Unpacked that you and Eric are working on for tomorrow is dealing with some of this marathon Bungie fallout from not only the clear plagiarism of various art assets, but also kind of the lukewarm reception and the seemingly dismal morale at Bungie. And it seems like, again, this is speaking to the larger trend of the people at the very top of a lot of these companies have no idea what's actually going on, not only from the people under them who are creating these things, but from the audience who plays these things.
Yeah, I mean, a major point I make in my videos, I think I've said on the podcast before, I'm interested in Marathon. I had a fleeting thought that it would do okay, but then after I said we kind of have to wait to see what people come out of the alpha saying, and nobody that I follow was really all that ecstatic about it. And I'm just, I'm trying to figure out what the audience is for this, because Bungie is known for Halo, which was a sandbox multiplayer game and single player stories, and then Destiny is scripted cooperative missions with sandbox elements and not hardcore competitive. And now you're going into a niche of a niche with an extraction shooter in a hardcore competitive market. One of the points I make in the video is basically Call of Duty is accessible, right? And you have Warzone on Call of Duty, and millions of people play Call of Warzone. But I don't think what companies understand is millions of people play that because Call of Duty was there first. And with Marathon, you don't have that. You don't have a community already built up to go play this thing. So some of the reports that have come out have been developers at Bungie were trying to tell leadership 5 years ago that this needs a PvE element in it if it's going to succeed. And basically, if you're not into extraction games, you are not into this. And yeah, I mean, obviously, with all the layoffs that happened at Bungie, we've heard the stories about how Pete Parsons collects cars and flaunts them to people and all kinds of other nonsense from leadership. So yeah, I don't know, maybe like me, get off Twitter, for Randy and some of these guys, and focus on your teams and make sure they're taken care of and happy.
One of the problems with Marathon too is that the standout element, in my opinion, has been it is visually unique. It looks very different. Its entire visual language is very different. And now it's coming out that a lot of that visual language seemingly has been stolen. Maybe it was one bad actor, but there has been a trend of this happening at Bungie for several years. So even if it is isolated bad actors, there's something clearly wrong with leadership and structure there if that keeps happening to a company that should have no limits to the amount of they should be able to bring this person in right in the beginning and be like, we really like this visual aesthetic you've created. Let's work together to feel like how we can put this in the game.
It's back.
I don't see any way this game does not get delayed. The amount of not even if it doesn't matter if it doesn't take long to change the art in the game, just the PR stink around the game. You are headed for disaster.
Yeah.
Do you think that they change the art versus paying the artist, especially at this stage?
I
Hating the
don't.
artist feels like the good PR move.
Yeah, like,
the good PR move would be to bring the artists into the development team
Sure.
to flesh this thing
why?
out more.
If they have a job, they're just gonna get fired from.
So, at least, I mean, but they'll get the legal payout and a paycheck. That sounds good. I don't. Yeah, I really don't know. I think I'm trying not to spoil my entire video tomorrow, but whatever. Like, I think this game just needs to be radically changed to get people excited about it. Because right now, like, there is no, I don't see any path forward where people are like suddenly change their mind about Marathon and are excited about it. Like, it is on a downhill trajectory all the way through, whether because people weren't excited by the alpha, people are mad about the PR stuff, people are mad at Bungie for Destiny mishaps, whatever it is. Like, this needs a reset.
Yeah, I agree with that. It might be very cynical of me to say, but this may, like, and this, like, corporate minded, this may have stood a better chance if it was still tied to Destiny, perhaps. Like, they're trying to resurrect this old IP, probably because it is their IP, like Marathon, like Bungie owns it, they can do what they want with it, right?
Yeah.
But that's the same for Destiny. If they had maybe branded this as a Destiny thing, spin off or whatever.
I don't think there's ever been a case where a game that was traditionally single player, which the Marathon games were, is brought back and rebranded as a multiplayer only experience where that's gone well. I can't think of any instance where that has happened that's gone well.
Rainbow Six
didn't go well for Rainbow Six. Like, always had a big competitive multiplayer scene though, and people weren't happy when Siege was only single player. They wanted the Rainbow Six Patriots campaign that was canceled. So you know that game's. Yeah, I don't know.
There's exceptions to all rules. Yeah, you can point to Rainbow Six or Final Fantasy 14, but those are point to those games as exceptions to things that have, you know, stumbled out the gate and turned things around
that often.
That being said, I know the furor over Marathon when the gameplay reveal happened that it was an extraction game and all that had a lot of people upset. I don't really know how many actual fans of Marathon exist because I don't.
Yeah, that number's got to be like
90s
under.
Mac boys.
Yeah,
that is not a big number at all.
I tend to not believe that a bunch of people commenting on YouTube are huge fans of the Marathon franchise.
No, for me, when Marathon came back, I was like, that's neat. Like, yeah. But this is a franchise that lasted like 6 years in the early 90s. Like, this is not a, you know, like you said, it's a thing they own.
Touchstone for people.
Yeah.
It's like deep Halo fans know that Marathon exists. And therefore,
I'm a deep Halo fan and know Marathon exists. I just never had any interest in actually playing it.
Exactly, right.
Look at this game, the original around hallways.
As much as I love Halo, I still think the original Halo is pretty fucking rough.
How dare you say that? What about the flood? What about the library? You just don't like libraries.
I could, if there's like a cheat code to skip that level, please let me have it.
Yeah, I think the library mission is the worst. You're just gonna keep saying words because that's what Halo does. Halo just says proper nouns at you the whole time.
That game means active time lore. Let me pull up a thing and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I can't believe it's in Death Stranding 2, active time lore. Oh my god, what a great call, Kojima. Replaying that first game, I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And now I can pull up a little dictionary and learn what the fuck he's talking about. Before we move on, I wanted to go over some super chats from the top. Thank you all so much. Remember, your super chats right now are going towards our next funding goal, since obviously our funding goal has been met for us to do Dokapon this weekend, and that will be probably sometime in June. Nick's going to be doing another 8 hours of Persona 5. The best way to experience that game is 7 to 8 hours at a time once a year, where the first several hours are spent wondering what we were doing.
I'll finish it by the time I'm 40. Don't you worry.
Truly the best. I don't think that's going to be true. A super boner. Also, you could just quit and you could play Metaphor ReFantasio because it's on Game Pass.
I started that months ago. Just haven't played it at 8 hours at a time, so I haven't kept up with it.
You know what? I was going to make fun of you, but you played Clair Obscur, so you're fine. You get a pass in my book. You get a French hall pass.
The game gets me into combat without talking to people for 4 hours straight.
I mean, it takes a little while in Clair Obscur.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, actual little while. Yeah,
Yeah, like 5 minutes.
It's like a little while.
It's a short amount of time. Yes.
No, not if you only walk and then you go to every stand and you learn French from everyone.
That's your choice.
I was writing down my notebook.
That's just in an open area, yeah.
Yes, twice. He's got to get through that market and then watch everyone fucking gourmage.
Gourmage.
Is that what the term? That's the term, right?
I don't know where the R came from, but okay.
Yeah, I think it's gourmage.
There's got to be an R in there. They said it a million times during that game. It's got to be a big gourmage in there.
Gourmage.
Like what you're saying sounds like a bunch of people sat down and like ate a bunch.
Oh fuck!
Oh
the papers gourmaged us all.
Oui. See you later.
Fuck, that game is so good. I just want to say,
it really is.
Kizzy, have you finished yet? No spoilers.
I finally went back to finish it. Like I went back to the island to start that final fight or whatever.
What level are you at?
Oh my god, I'm like 75.
You'll be fine. You're gonna cruise through that island.
Yeah, I figured because I spent mad time just cruising the world because I couldn't. It was so fun. There's so much weird, fun shit to keep.
And
finding.
every time SKA makes a fun noise, I'm like, hell yeah, wee. Gromage. Superb Owner. Jesus, what happened? Superb Owner, thank you so much for a $2 dono. If you're a real fan, then you're no true Scotsman. Oh my God, worlds are colliding. You guys know about No True Scotsman?
Yeah, I keep relearning about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I still haven't really wrapped my head around it. I just smile and nod. Ryan Betts, thank you so much. Being in the tip jar for 15 months. Sussy Guru with €2. Don't you guys have money? Or think about it, if you can't afford an Xbox One, you can always have an Xbox 360. That's what this gave me heavy Don Matrick vibes.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're too rich to be talking in public. Like, you don't understand how human beings act. You shouldn't be allowed to.
There was a long stint there where Randy Pitchford just stopped talking to the public because he kept getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And at some point, someone was like, "Hey, Randy, stop!" And it kind of worked. We forgot about him. Like the games were coming out, and folks were like, "Hey, this was okay," or like, "I didn't really think," but like, Randy wasn't the focus. He wasn't taking attention away from the product.
Yeah.
As soon as he pops back up, here we go again.
Old Randy back at it again. It's kind of shocking, if I'm being honest. And I can't believe he keeps doing it. I mean, I can.
Literally nothing.
I can believe he keeps doing it. Joffrey of Monmouth, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Only one episode away from 69. Nice. What are we going to do next week?
Just do the whole stream with half of us upside down.
Oh my God. That'd be really good. But then the back burner.
That's really dumb. Don't do that, Eric, please. Please don't do that, Eric.
The artist formerly known as Fat Cock. Speaking of, oh my God, what's going on there? Eric, your computer's going to break. You can't be doing those like fucking crazy graphic designs. Thank you so much, Fat Cock, with a $5 dono. Hello, I have to rebrand because YouTube flagged my name as not terms of service compliant. That being said, have you seen the game with the sword-wielding dinosaurs? We have Dino Sword, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I did see that.
There was a showcase, that game's been like GIFs of it have been making the rounds. And there was a showcase earlier today, 6-1 Indie Showcase, I want to say, that I think showed off a bunch of games. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I've been crushing tape all day. I haven't had time to watch it. I don't know what crushing tape means. That's like football highlights. But I haven't watched football highlights.
Watching replays of high school.
That game looks fun. Eric's got it right now. It's just a fucking dino doing like sick ass sword moves.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like a real game, but looks cool.
I think he is trying to make it a real game.
Good for him.
But yeah, it is exactly sort of ridiculousness that I champion.
You should pitch it.
Look at that name, Dino Blade. It's so dumb.
Dino Blade.
That's so dumb.
Pitch it to Randy Pitchford. King Dad, $2. Don't do it there. King Dad, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Quote, leukemia makes you cool, kids. Marty. First off, that's not a quote. I didn't say that. I just said people didn't like Roman Reigns, and then he came back. He had leukemia, and he came back, and he had aura, and that's when aura was created. He was the first man to ever have aura. Now everyone is aura. Now people are like, oh, did you see the fucking Rizzler at the red carpet of Thunderbolts. He had aura. Like, the word doesn't fucking mean anything anymore. Get that weird little kid out of here. I think it's going to come out the Rizzler.
The red carpet?
It's going to come out the Rizzler's like 40, and everyone's going to be like really creeped out. He's just like a small dude.
The Rizzler is like a dude. I thought the Rizzler could be anyone who possessed that.
Oh, the Rizzler is a boy. He's a small boy. He's a
the Rizzler is a one bespoke.
Yeah, he's like
entity.
A boy that's shaped like R2D2. He's like a boy. He's like a boy. He's like an R2D2 shaped like garbage can boy. He was like an offshoot of the Costco boys.
I don't want to type the Rizzler into Google, so someone.
No, you can type the Rizzler. It's fine.
Someone help me.
He at the red carpet of the Thunderbolts, he was dressed as Red Guardian, and he came up to Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's the villain in that movie. It was Elaine from Seinfeld, and you could tell she had no idea what was going on, and she thought it was like, is this like a Make-A-Wish kid? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing with this kid? And then later on, like, one of the other people in the movie was like, oh no, he's like more famous than any of us are for just being like a weird little kid. But anyways, I think he's 40. I
have seen this kid before.
Yeah, my thought is he's 40. He's a grown ass man, just small. Yeah. S6, $10 Australian dollars. A game executive will never understand if you frame the argument as, quote, game costs too high. They will understand if you frame it as, quote, average gamer has a percentage of disposable income compared to the 1980s, 90s, etc. So that is the important thing, S6. Mm-hmm. I don't think they will understand. I do think there's a certain level of rich that just doesn't understand.
They think your daughters have 30 dolls at their disposal.
Yes, exactly. They think groceries is like an old-timey term. No, fucking everyone uses the word groceries, even the Rizzler. And he's moved beyond groceries.
You only need 2 pencils.
Yeah, it's insane.
Nobody uses pencils anymore.
Truly insane. Andrew Frangies with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Frangis or Frangies? Take your pick. Well, it's good. I chose the second one. Marty, have you built your first gunpla yet? I have not. I haven't bought it solely because as I've talked about the last few weeks, I'm willingly stepping into the abyss of 2 hobbies next month that could financially ruin me. In the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering card game and the Persona 5 gacha game.
Oh man!
And this is right on the heels of
it's gonna be real bad
of Switch 2. And about takes Japan for the fall.
Don't buy card games.
What are you talking about? Fucking Marvel Snap? You can't tell me what to do with my money.
They're pictures of cards. Fuck off.
It's art. It's art.
His are, at least Marty's are physical cards, but they are just pictures.
Yeah. It's art. I think it's beautiful.
It's art that you're going to keep in a box on a shelf.
Mine are digital ones are animated.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
I'm really excited. I'm excited to open them.
Are you gonna
Doesn't that like take the value or whatever?
Oh, I'm not here for the value. I'm here for the thrill of opening.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm going to open them. I'm just going to throw them behind me. I don't give a shit. They don't have to look nice. That's the exact box I bought, Eric. I bought that box full of card packs.
I'm just curious. Like these are selling out, right? Like folks are like into this.
Yeah, people are excited. It had a whole PAX East panel.
So that means like it's not like a limited thing. Like will these accrue value if they stay like mint? You think?
Good question. I don't know. I have a bunch of Pokemon cards. Maybe they've accrued value.
All mine are.
I should know if I have anymore. I might have given
no idea.
I have like the original Yu-Gi-Oh cards from like the very first packs.
That's probably worth something.
Yeah, I remember even going to get them because we went to Olive Garden after. I don't know why I remember that.
You hear your family.
When you're here, you're dueling monsters.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards and free breadsticks.
You're here, you're a blue-eyed white dragon.
Yeah, I do wonder what kind of money I would get from those today.
Yeah, look, if you still got them, look that stuff up. I remember I had Fire Emblem Sacred Stones on Game Boy Advance, and apparently those didn't sell a ton in the States, or at least they didn't make a ton of physical ones in the States. And those were like $300 like 10, 15 years later. And I had no idea where that cart was anymore.
Oh man, if you had to like get a box set, that's the thing. Like if you are going to sell these things, like they gotta stay boxed, they gotta stay like you gotta put that shit in like a bomb-proof case
Yeah.
No dust, no dents, no cracks, nothing.
I like
Yeah,
flavor.
plan for the future.
Cast iron skillet. Thank you so much, Andrew. Anonymous. You can continue. I yelled the word anonymous.
So someday those Yu-Gi-Oh cards are going to pay for my kids' college.
There you go. Gotta have kids first.
Gotta have kids first. Yep.
Gotta get a girlfriend first. Use the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, look, I'll be your sugar daddy. Hold up back on Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Just find a single mom. Shortcut. There you go.
That's true. That is true.
I don't want to give Yu-Gi-Oh cards to a single mom.
Well, you start a family with
her
them.
kid's gonna need something.
That's where you
take my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and run.
Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh. Anonymous.
Shout out to single moms.
Shout out to single moms.
Shout out to single moms. They work hard. Stop taking my Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
They work hard. Your Yu-Gi-Oh cards are spending $80 on Borderlands. Anonymous over in Ko-Fi with a dono. Put a little scoop down. Sorry if this was covered, but did you just see the news that it is confirmed A24 producing an Elden Ring movie directed by Alex Garland, the writer of the greatest Devil May Cry game ever, DMC, Devil May Cry, also the director of Civil War, of Men, of Annihilation, of Ex Machina, the writer of 28 Days Later.
That'd be really good.
He wrote The Beach. Remember the movie The Beach starring the Leo? The DiCaprio?
No.
Oh, it was from like 25 years ago. He went to a beach. It wasn't like the Shyamalan movie where the beach makes you old. It's just he went to the beach and some dudes tried to kill him.
Oh.
Wasn't that Romeo and Juliet?
That was right around the same time as Romeo and Juliet, and it's the same thing. Honestly, that's Titanic too. He got in the boat. Some dudes wanted to fuck him up. You know, Gangs of New York. What is going on? He had a whole thing.
Yeah, what's good? What?
I mean, he was like a handsome little pretty boy. Everyone wanted to punch that man. Yeah, Alex Garland. Apparently, news just broke. Wow. Fucking let's roll. Sure, it's gonna happen anyways. Might as well be someone who clearly gives a shit about video games. He's written several video games. He wrote Enslaved, Journey to the West. Like he was what's their names, in-house writer for a little bit.
Ninja Theory,
the Hellblade studio, Ninja Theory. Yeah, I think he wrote one of the Call of Duties. Might have been the spacey one, so we could just roll right past that. It's fine.
Honestly, Annihilation is the one that
Annihilation's great.
I would think feels most like a Souls thing.
Sure, yeah, it has a lot of practical creature effects and everything.
That bear was totally real.
Yeah, he does a lot of storytelling without dialogue, which is great. His movies aren't overly talky. He does a lot of show, not tell. Sure.
I'm gonna be so vindicated when this movie is just like The Green Knight.
I would love it. Yeah. He also makes really pretty movies. Civil War he just made, which is like one of those gorgeous, like fucked up harrowing. No, not Civil War. Sorry, Warfare. He just co-directed Warfare a few weeks ago, starring Noah Centineo, who is our Ken Masters. That's Ken's last name, right? Ken Masters.
Masters.
That's a weird last name.
It's almost like it was bought.
His son, Ken Apprentice. Joffrey of Monmouth with another $5. Thank you so much, Joffrey. None of this talk about prices would matter if companies still paid salaries in money you could only spend at that company. Take me back to the good old days. That's true. That's what I want. Jobs need to pay me in Sinners, weren't they talking about like the plantation bucks? Like, you can't take that money because it's plantation bucks. And then the other brother was like, no, we gotta take it. Like it's for the people.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, I don't even want to go back to those.
That was a thing in South of Midnight too. I feel like there was one of those backstories. Someone's boss was paying them in like the thing the company made.
Yeah. Company script. That's it. Yeah.
Those Trident Layers commercials hit too hard now.
Oh my God. Premium gum. It's all happening. Adults yearn for the company store, says Armored Chocobo. Taylor Holmes with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Taylor. Marty, I just watched your video on game storefronts and my heart leapt when you mentioned Glover. How many times have you played it? I've lost count personally. I've played it twice. I played it when I rented it as a child, and I played it again when it was released a few years ago on 420. It's very difficult.
You and Jack streamed that together, didn't you?
No, That was a personal stream.
Oh, a personal stream.
I don't allow anyone in my Glover stream.
I just remember you talking about Glover for like 2 months.
Oh, I talk about Glover a lot. Yeah, because he's like,
you bring it up all the time. Actually,
the big hand. What, Glover? I don't bring it up all the time. Not in like a weird amount.
You bring up Glover more than I bring up Goblin Commander.
That's not true.
That is not true.
I bring up Glover at a normal amount of time for a 38-year-old man.
I tried to sneak that history change through when nobody was looking.
Shout out to Glover. Bring Glover back. Listen, if Gex could come back with all of his filthy, filthy jokes, this weird hand can come back. And then Sovereign with a €12 dono. Thank you so much, Sovereign. It's a real shame about the Lords of the Fallen dev studio being destroyed from within. I played through 2.0 recently, and it's actually a really good Souls-like, about on par with Lies of P for me. No joke, real shame. Yeah, the game was very well received. There's people who fucking love it. Jack and Nick are huge fans of it. And it sucks that someone who's not one of the creatives is mucking about, souring the waters.
I met that team at E3 when they were showing, or not E3, so GDC a couple years ago before it released, and they were so passionate about that game. Like they were so excited to meet Yahtzee and like everything, and like the videos they're putting out. Like I don't. None of those guys were at the front of that as far as I know.
Sure.
So yeah. And also like maybe before current government, I would have been okay supporting certain things, but well, that's a bad statement to make. I would have been not as against supporting a game that I like, knowing I'm supporting the developers, but with the way the CEO is going, I'd have a very hard time supporting anything from that company.
There's also 5 million games that have been made, so it's kind of easy to just be like, well, I'll just focus on this one instead.
The absolute worst time to be shooting yourself in the foot when you work in the games industry.
Yep.
Yeah, the dumb thing is like it's so blatant because like he openly admitted Lords of the Fallen hadn't broken even yet. So what does he do to try to go get more sales? Goes to that crowd, and then like, oh, this whole 2.0 update, we're doing it for the players. Like, no, you promised for months you were gonna fix these things. It had nothing to do with them. Just keep grifting. Just keep going.
We've changed it so you only choose your character as tits or dick. That is the new body type.
There's only so much stupidity I can handle on a certain day anymore.
I can handle it, and it is insane how much I can handle.
I can't.
Like I'm like fucking Loki at the end of season 2. I got the goddamn Yggdrasil on my back of stupidity, and I can just I can hold it all together. That might have been a Loki season 2. Spoiler. Also, I don't actually fully remember what happened at the end of season 2.
It gets wild at the
Full
end.
disclosure.
So okay.
I think Loki had a lot going for him. And then King Dead, $2 dono. Is Glover the hamburger helper mascot? I've never seen them in the same room together. I mean, it'd be a left hand or a right hand
all the time.
Well, then what's Master Hand?
Master Hand is an entirely different set because there's Crazy Hand.
Of the boy. What if Master Hand and Crazy Hand are the two hands of the Rizzler? That weird. That little...
boy has never worn a pair of white gloves in his life. I know this to be fact.
I'm gonna Google Rizzler white gloves
because he'd be horrified at what those gloves would come back as. I'm sure.
Shout out to the Rizzler. All right, let's talk about what we've been playing.
Nice. What you got,
Nick? Oh, Nick, you went to Poland last week. You should talk about what you saw in Poland last week.
Yeah, 11-bit Studios flew me out to come check out a couple games. I can only talk about one so far. The first one was The Altars, though, which we've mentioned quite a few times, I think, on Firelink about being interested in. Definitely a game I had on my radar. I never got around to the demo. They had a demo on the last Steam Next Fest. I can't remember. Did we have it in our Next Fest roundup video? Did somebody put it in there?
Did they have a demo?
That doesn't sound. Was that the one with a bunch of clone guys?
Hella clones.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember the trailer from a showcase, but I don't.
If
think
they had a demo, it might not
demo.
have worked on Steam Deck.
Probably not.
Don't work on Steam Deck. How am I supposed to play it?
But anyways, so the Altars is a kind of space survival adventure game. This guy named Jan. You'll hear the name Jan a lot because every character in the game is named Jan.
A lot of Jans.
Crash lands on this planet, and you basically have to find a way to get off of it. You get this big base that's on a rotating wheel that goes around. So there's this game's a little bit hard to explain. Even the developers have a hard time getting explaining because it includes like a bunch of different aspects. So the thing that surprised me the most about it was it's very narrative driven, which the marketing and all that kind of sells a lot of the survival gameplay aspects and definitely some of the narrative, but they're trying to keep it pretty close to the chest. So very narrative game first and foremost. It's also a survival game. It's also a bit of a base building game. It's also a bit of a social sim, and very heavy choice-based gameplay. So it includes. I made a post today. Like, it reminds me a lot of like Blueprints. How Blueprints mixed a bunch of genres together to make something that like feels really new and fresh. And since I hadn't played the demos for the altars, I went in very fresh to this game, and I came out like I'm itching to get my hands back on this one to play more of it. I really came away loving it. Very atmospheric. The narrative is really well done. But my favorite part is obviously the Jans. So basically, he lands there alone, and you have to create copies of him. He has to create copies of himself to help get out and get the base moving and doing stuff and all that. But each copy he makes of himself is from a different branch of his memories. So like basically his memories branch off, and basically you choose, like, let's say in one of his memories he was working to become a chef, let's just say, or a doctor. Let's go with a doctor because there's a doctor in the game and he's very funny.
It's like a chef of humans.
Becoming a doctor, and so like you choose that timeline, and the Jan that comes out is Dr. Jan, and you can have Guard Jan, you can have Builder Jan, like all these different Jans, and they all have their own personalities, even though they share like a core life memory from a certain point.
So they're not clones, they're like multiverse doppelgangers or whatever?
Yeah, I mean they are
everything
clones.
Everywhere all at once.
They are clones, they just they come from a different branch of his memories, so they kind of took a different path in their life. So yeah, it's like a bit multiversey, but clone.
It seems like a little multiverse, a little clone, a little Mickey 17.
Yeah. But
that sounds
the
cool.
voice,
I like that.
Yeah,
and you choose, like, you're not just prescripted. Like this is where the Chef Jan comes out. You kind of like choose.
Yeah, you choose. Like you have a limited amount of Jans you can have at any given time. And you do have to choose like which Jan you bring out. And then the social element comes into it, where like the Jans will ask you for things like, one of my Jans, if you don't build it right away, they don't have a bed to sleep on. So you have to build a dormitory. So you have to go out and scavenge the materials you need to build the dormitory and complete certain things. And if you don't build that dormitory, as I didn't, your Jan will be like, hey, asshole, I don't have a bed to sleep on. Get me a bed. And if you don't get the bed over time, he will keep coming back to you, be like, yeah, Jan, are you going to get me a bed to sleep on? Jan, I'm still sleeping on the floor, you dick.
Okay, because you're playing as Jan Prime.
Yeah, you are playing as Jan Prime. And so, but like...
Is there a hierarchy?
It's not really a hierarchy, no, but like Jan, they use the same voice actor for every Jan. And so, like, he had to like come up with different voices, almost like Jack does exactly for D&D. Where like each Jan has his own personality, each Jan has his own voice, and it gets really funny, really weird, and like the Jans will fight with each other and all that, and just do all this kind of weird Simsy kind of stuff. It's a really, really unique game. Like I'm really excited to play more of it.
I'm very intrigued.
I was really happy
by the concept. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy. Like, it's very narrative focused. So, like, if you're not into survival games, I think you would still enjoy this because, like, it's part of the loop, but it's not the core loop of the game.
Yeah, that's kind of how you sold it to me. You said it's much more narrative focused than most survival games, which I'm definitely excited for. Everything you just said about the game sounds really cool, and that's coming out. It's coming out soon, right?
June 13th. Yep.
Oh my god, that's like 5 days before fucking Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna alter very quickly. I'm gonna put fucking Jans right to my brain. Yeah. So this was 11-bit. They did. They're best known for Frostpunk and This War of Mine. Correct.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Dave Robinson wants to know what you do in the game. So, you are going out and kind of solving puzzles. It's kind of a long gameplay loop, so I will try to keep this brief. So you have the base. You need to build up the base, which has different rooms. So you need to make sure that your yawns are being fed. You need to make sure your yawns have a place to sleep. You need to build mechanical rooms and all kinds of all these different, like even social rooms. Like they have mini games, like social games that you can play with your yawns to keep their moods up, and which comes into play with like the choice-driven narrative things that you have to do. So let's say a yawn isn't feeling great that day. Well, then you can say, "Hey, yawn, let's go play some beer pong." And there's a beer pong mini game that you can play. And then when you need to get resources and stuff to build your base, you leave the base, you go into that third-person gameplay mode, and then you're out exploring, looking for resources to collect, kind of building like structures that can feed resources back to your base. You're discovering like narrative beats. There's all kinds of different things. Like I only got to preview it, so I haven't seen everything yet. But it stayed fresh even throughout my preview of like just the first act. There was always something kind of new to do.
Dad wants to know: did you just go to Poland to play digital beer pong?
No, but I did get to try a lot of different vodkas. I didn't realize Poland is kind of the home of vodka, not really Russia.
It is.
It's really interesting.
Russia out here stealing everything from Poland.
Yeah.
Also, Jomo Slomo said a missed opportunity to release it in January.
January.
That'd have been good. I like it. Are we sure his name's actually Jan and not Jan?
That's Jan. It's Yan.
Okay. I'm a little worried.
Or actually, no, it is Jan, but it's Jan.
Okay, now I'm very worried. I'm very worried we've made an entire recurring bit out of this.
I promise it's Jan. That's all I heard throughout the entire event. Also, the actor was with us, and we were playing around with him.
Yeah.
Which Jan did he look like in real life?
Fuck, just playing around
Jan.
with him, dude.
He looked like Jan.
Oh, okay, thanks.
What does playing around with him mean?
What?
So the actor was there and we were playing around with him. And I wanted clarification on what does we played around with him mean?
We gave him shots.
Oh, I thought it was just like you were like he was like an ex machina, like he was like a fucking a fucking cyborg that you were able to just like. Never mind.
Yeah, the funniest thing that happened though was we were walking back, me and a bunch of other creators and people were walking back from a bar that we were at, and all of a sudden I hear a smack on the window next to me. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then out of nowhere, a fucking potato comes flying right over my head. Yeah, and somebody in their apartment was like chucking potatoes at us as we were walking down. You've had that happen to you?
It was Urbanum. Yeah.
Have you actually had that happen to you too?
It was Tommy Salty. No, I've never had someone throw a fucking potato at me. What?
Oh, they threw a fuck ton of potatoes at us.
Like they don't. That's potatoes. Not like a normal thing.
No.
You guys were probably being fucking unruly. It was probably 2 a.m.
Yeah, was that it? Yeah,
loud,
it was like shut the F up.
Jan's name.
It was like midnight. The one of the guys from Easy Allies got hit by one of the potatoes.
International incident. Fuck.
I'm so curious who had potatoes to spare, because oftentimes
that's what I thought.
I'll get annoyed at something.
Potatoes just sitting on their windows.
Get a little bit of road rage, be like, oh, I wish I had something that I could just chuck, even though like that's super dangerous. I would never actually do that. Someone just had potatoes. It's like, these are worth chucking at these fools.
Yeah, and they were like chucking them hard. So what the hell's been thrown at us?
I don't want to victim blame. I think y'all had it coming.
I mean, we probably did.
Y'all had it coming.
Yeah,
Y'all had it coming. Bear Bomb with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Bear Bomb, the real reason Randy stopped talking in public for a while was the Medieval Times USB drive event. That is true. I forgot about that.
Remember, I thought that was the thing that was like, yeah, he didn't lose his job, so get out with it getting's good and just shut up. But then he like kind of reemerges, like, is it safe now? I was like, why are you here?
Homer went into the shrubs, and then Homer reemerged from the shrubs. Shout out to Medieval Times.
Like, we didn't forget.
We've brought up Medieval Times several times on this show. We keep trying to get Nick to go because there's got to be one in the Kansas City area.
There's not one by me. I checked.
I thought you did check and found one.
No, I lied. There was not by me. I didn't mean to lie. It just wasn't there.
Sounds like a lie. You know who else lies? the demons of hell.
Oh, so they're going to say our government.
No, we're not. This isn't a political podcast. We're centrists. We've never played our hand towards who we've voted for.
I will tell you right now, I'm not a centrist.
Honestly, listen, I don't want to say it centrist. You're just as right. Nick, you played a lot of Doom. You played a lot of Doom: The Dark Ages. Casey, you played a little bit of it. I'm still 3 missions in. Game's too hard. No, game's not too hard. I've just been playing another game, and let me tell you,
I did put it on the ultra kill difficulty, whatever is like the. I went up a thing because I watched Jade's video.
Boy, people are angry at that video. It was over 2,000 comments on that.
Oh yeah, Casey left about half of those. Casey cracked his knuckles. He's like,
I didn't play the game. I have no opinion yet because I've not really gotten deep. Like I've played just the first mission, so I don't know how long that actually is. It didn't feel like an hour, but maybe it was an hour.
Yeah.
My first impression, I like how fast he is on the ground. Like I'm a real big fan of just speedy movement in games, period. The guns feel good. I've only got my hands on 2 of them so far. I like the mechanics of I have a shield. That shield will catapult me across an arena when I like it feels a little bit like Muso energy, like Dynasty Warriors, where like there's big swaths of enemies all over the place, and you can very easily mow through a lot of them. And while that hits that power fantasy button, it's not hitting the high skill level button for me. And one of those is much more important to me than the other. Like I don't care so much about power fantasy as I do about, achievement and skill efficiency or whatever. But again, super early on. So I'm hoping that at least some of that picks up just in terms of the variety of that combat. But I did die a bunch on that harder difficulty in the first big arena that they gave you in that first mission. So like I'm not saying it's like a cakewalk or anything. Just I'm just very early on in it. So I'm just waiting to see what else they do with those mechanics, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, you're like halfway through the game, I think.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I just the best way I can describe it is like it kind of keeping him on all right, so the weird thing is like I love Doom 2016. I liked Eternal, but I liked 2016 more. And I do agree with like some of the criticism, like this is an overcorrection on Doom Eternal. Because the combat is so kind of ground based that it doesn't feel like I don't know if skill is the right word or whatnot, but like the momentum that you would gain from Doom 1 and Eternal doesn't feel like it's here because, their whole tagline is stand your ground kind of thing. And I like there are a lot of people are saying there's no glory kills, but there are. And weirdly, I don't know if it's a design decision they made or whatnot, but I get a lot of glory kills by just jumping up over the enemy and then doing it, because if you just do it while you're on the ground, you just Sparta kick them away. So there's a lot more like animations in that regard. But yeah, I don't know. Like obviously I've watched Design Delve and Jay's video. I don't necessarily agree with some of his criticisms because like when I play these games, I'm not there for puzzles or anything. I'm more than happy for them to just signpost me to the key and get me on my way. I don't want to be looking around in circles and really kind of drab environments to find a way to unlock the door. Like I am there to rip and tear, keep moving forward, keep fighting. I think like my biggest criticism though does come from like just the level design feeling way too flat. Because when you're going back to Doom 2016 and Eternal, like you're not just shooting things in front of you all the time. You're having to jump up and get up there and shoot things up above the ground and jump back down and all that. And there's a mission. Marty, how many missions are you on? 3?
4. I think I finished the 4th mission.
Is the 4th mission the one where like it's a much more open area?
I think the 2nd mission was a big open area. We had to do like 3 things and like.
Yeah, I think it might be the 5th mission then, where it's like you're in a kind of this big swamp, and that's where
I have not played a swamp.
Okay, that when you get to that mission, the game kind of clicked for me there, and it's the more linear missions where I don't jive with the game as much. Obviously, everything feels good to play and everything, but the other thing I would recommend if you haven't started Doom yet, drop that gameplay volume down to 80 and then bump the music up to 100, and the sound balance is way better because everything's too balanced, so you can barely hear the music. which is basically what gives you the momentum, I guess, in my opinion.
I played it with a podcast.
Well, yeah, you're lost cause, but
I've said from the beginning I don't like the Doom music, even when it was because it's
overall,
even the older games you're saying you don't like that style of backing track. You're saying
I love it, but I'm overall mixed on it. Like I like it, but I'm not rushing back every night to play it, and I don't think that happened with 2016 or Eternal.
Yeah, like I'm the opposite of Nick in that I liked Eternal, but I liked 2016, but I loved Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very disappointed when they showed it off and it was like, Doom is on the ground now. I was like, oh, what are you guys doing? But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like a very different thing. And it's because a lot of folks complained about all the jumpiness in Eternal. I guess, and I guess in terms of the legacy of Doom, that does feel somewhat out of place. Like him being that hoppity hop. So like, sure, maybe it's a maybe not an overcorrection, but it's a correction to what I guess Doom more traditionally plays like. But I really like that change. So maybe Doom won't go back to that. But what was that other game, Metal Eden or something? That looks like they're basically stealing that Eternal style gameplay. Yeah, I'm very excited to check that out.
Very mobile, very airborne.
Eternal, I played the preview for Metal Eden. It's very much inspired by Doom Eternal. But
so that excites me.
I think the farther I've gotten into the Dark Ages, like there just doesn't feel like there's very memorable combat encounters to me in it. And I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and replay the other ones if I feel the same way about those. But like it just doesn't. To me, it doesn't have that same flow that both 2016 and Eternal had.
Yeah, understandable. Eric with a good point that Doom is having a Sonic effect, a split community for different gameplay styles.
I'm okay with them changing it up every time. I think it would be kind of boring just to play Doom 2016 over and over again.
I think that was one of the things I'd give them kudos for is that all three games feel very different.
Pretty cool.
Whether that's good or bad is up to you. You know, that's a larger philosophical debate of what we want from a sequel. But I'm excited to play some more. Maybe next week we'll have deeper thoughts on it. And then Nick, you've also been playing some Monster Train 2, which we just had a Dairy Queen go up earlier today.
Yeah. Super addicting game. Go watch the Discovery queue on it. So I don't know if you recall when we were recording that, Marty. I was like, I'm usually good at this game. I don't really know what's going on right now.
You were playing like a baby. You were playing like me.
No. It wasn't that. You
were playing like a baby. You were playing like me.
Oh, that's fair. But as you complete runs, you gain Covenant levels, which are basically difficulty modifiers. And I didn't realize I was playing off. Yeah, I didn't realize I was playing on Covenant 5 for the Discovery queue, so I was playing on a very difficult.
Might as well be the Flood at this point.
Yeah. So, if you like roguelike deck builders, like I think Monster Train is at the top of the game right now. I'm very, very, very excited to see how Slay the Spire 2 kind of builds on its formula, but like this, I think Monster Train, as I put in the title, is the king of the genre right now for just the variety of different styles you can play and the combinations you can build with decks and everything. It's one of those that does feel fresh like every run you do, just because you can create so many different combinations. And those are my favorite types of deck builders, where it kind of just make builds and you don't really know what's going to happen with them. And this game has that in spades.
This is the best game set on a train?
It is set on a train, as we found out.
Best game ever set on a train?
Are there other games that are wholly set on trains?
There's big chunks of Resident Evil 0. The opening of Resident Evil 0 is on a train.
Uncharted 2's train is still unbeaten.
Uncharted 2's got a really good train.
But again, that's just the first level.
The Last Express is all a murder mystery on a train.
Well, yeah, you do go back. Yeah, it's like a flashback.
It's a flashback.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy 6, you get to suplex a ghost train, which is carrying the body of one of your party members' wife and child.
Sekiro
has. Did the wife and child get suplexed?
I mean, there were ghosts, so I don't know how suplexes work with ghosts.
I think the Thomas the Train mod is still the best train.
Thomas the Train mod, that was a good one.
In Resident Evil or Sekiro. When that mod came out where they made him the fucking snake in Sekiro, that is So fucking funny.
That was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking suplex the goddamn train.
Or when he's the dragon at the opening of Skyrim and he looks through like that little crack. That's so funny. I like it.
This is static animation of Randy.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
That's creepy smiling face.
Goddamn train.
So hold on, you're saying it's fine for him to suplex a train, but not a ghost.
I mean, it makes like logistically, it makes sense for him to be able to suplex a train because it's corporeal. Whereas, I don't know if like the dude's dead wife and kids are suplexable. He's like really strong though. He like trained with like subbing.
So he's not strong enough to grab a ghost.
Trains. Wow.
No, it's like a different type of strength though. That's like spiritual fortitude. That's different than just muscles. He's got
you gotta be
muscles.
Ghost. You gotta be Ghost Rider for that.
Yeah, you gotta be Ghost Rider for that, or Ghost Dog, or Wishbone. You gotta be Wishbone, the dog.
Casper's definitely suplex a train.
Devin Sawa, star of Final Destination 1.
Congrats.
I started thinking about Final Destination. Great. I'll go over my two things. I can go over them quick. Last night, I decided to buy Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time.
I knew you were going to buy that. I bought it for the account today thinking that's a Marty game, and here you are.
Bought it last night. You know what? I didn't buy the early access version, so look at that. Someone's learning. This is the follow-up to the DS game, the original Fantasy Life, which is like a RPG life simulator where it's like it feels like a little bit of Animal Crossing mixed with like a little bit of combat and a little bit of farming. This game is insane. In the first 3 hours, it is every video game ever. It is shocking to me how many games this has been so far. There is just a full-on Animal Crossing in here, but then there is also, so you get these, you travel through time and you arrive on this island and you need to choose a life, which is just like a job class in an RPG, and that can be combat focused, like a warrior or an archer or a mercenary. It can be kind of hunter-gatherer focused, like you can be a woodsman and chop down trees, or a miner and go with your pickaxe in the mines like Jack Black, or you can like create things. So you could be a tailor or a cook or those kinds of things. And each fucking one of these jobs has just its own video game to it. And you could just switch them on the fly. And it is crazy. It is overwhelming how much is going on here. I'm only a few hours in, but I am delighted so far by everything. It is one of those games where I have 10,000 things I'm thinking about wanting to do right now in this game, because every 5 minutes you do something that feeds into a little bit like Dave the Diver, or like feeds into the like upgrade system, even like a little bit Dredge. Like everything I'm doing is feeding into the upgrade system and pushing me a little bit forward, and I'm very excited.
This game was like on the front page of Steam today, and I feel like I have never heard about it until today.
Yeah, it hit like 50,000 concurrents, which is insane.
Yeah,
on Steam.
Sequel, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the original one, it was a level 5 developed 3DS game.
Was that like really popular? Because I feel like I remember the name Fantasy Life.
It was ish. It was getting like 7s and 8s. Like I don't think it was like, it wasn't like topping any charts. But I think this, having really high production values and releasing on everything, including Steam, which a lot of these kinds of games don't release on Steam, these especially the Japanese developed ones. I think it's really cool. Yeah, it's got some of the tunes are by Nobuo Uematsu, the Final Fantasy composer. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm gonna put a lot more time in over the weekend. So I'll have more to say next week, and then I might try to either write something up or do a discovery queue on it.
That's why I was confused. So like on the Fantasy Life page, when you click on the developer, because like level 5 sounds so familiar, like they did Ni no Kuni, right? And then I looked at their development page on there, and Ni no Kuni's not on there. Oh wait, yes, no, it's not.
They developed Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's not on that page. I was like, is this a different level 5?
Yeah, so level 5, they like their first game was Dark Cloud on the PS2. They did stuff like Rogue Galaxy, the Professor Layton games. They're doing the new Layton games. They did like Yokai Watch. They've done a bunch of random shit over the years. This feels like this could be possibly their biggest game though.
Like 50,000 concurs, absolutely.
Yeah, and just like there is so much to do in this game, and the production values are really high. It's a very kind of charming tone to it. So yeah, I'm really intrigued. Yeah, Jomo Slomo says this Dokapon open world. The tone is very Dokapon. Of just like, who is this man? Right? Like, who is this person? Like, what's going on here?
Like, speaking of dokes, like the description also reminds me of Doka V.
The big V. This was a V. I don't know how to make a V with both my hands.
Oh, keep coping over Doka V.
This was the V.
Because I just peeped. GameSpot had hands-on time with the Pearl Abyss game Crimson Desert, which looks incredible, by the way. Like, I thought that game was also just a story made up by the ancients, but no, apparently people are playing it and it looks really freaking cool. And apparently they also gave a earnings call thing back in January where they told the guys like, oh yeah, we're finishing up Crimson Desert. We're still actively working on Doka V. So more about that in the future. It's still coming. It's still coming.
They're just working on Crimson Desert game out here so they can focus on Doka V.
Yeah. It's coming. I'm excited. And this Fantasy Life game makes me feel like it can work. Like there's actually a game here. It is nonsense that they're peddling.
Marty, have you ever tried the My Time at Portia series?
I've not, no.
I think you would like it because it's not just a farming sim. They're like adventure RPGs as well.
I think I need that kind of blend. I can't just do like a straight up farming sim.
Yeah.
I've never been able to click with it. Oh, I guess I clicked with like Harvest Moon back in the day, but
yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I tried Snake in the Gardener. A couple people in the Discord have been talking about this.
Yeah, I tried My Time at Sandrock and like I got pretty into it for a little bit. And then they're working on another one that's kind of more fantasy themed. This next one they're doing.
That's like we'll definitely My Time in Andor.
My Time at the Wall.
My Time at the Wall. Tyrell says Doka V and Silk Song aren't real. You're just right. When both of them are at Summer Game Fest, you're never gonna eat those words.
Yeah, their latest one that they're working on is My Time at Evershine, and it actually looks really cool.
My Time at Maserati.
I like that.
Did you guys hear my Time at Maserati joke? Because of Porsche. My Time at Porsche.
Maserati.
Those are fancy cars. See, Casey, I know about cars.
You're right.
I'm really into the stuff you're into. Can't name any other cars. That's it. I tapped out. I'm excited to see F1 though. It seems like Brad Pitt's going to drive really fast. Are you excited for F1?
Oh my god, I can't wait to see that movie. Main thing about that movie? Forget the plot. Like maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Don't give a shit. The cinematography, like those shots of those fucking cars. Oh my god.
Yeah, this Joseph Kosinski. I did Top Gun Maverick.
Well,
so
that'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like
he knows how vehicles.
I don't know what it is. Cars look really cool, especially when they're shot in motion.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing.
That movie's gonna look so freaking cool. Good.
Yeah. The only other thing I've been playing, just really quick, is my weird game of the week. Is I put about an hour into Babushka's Glitch Dungeon, which I know has been on everyone's radar. This is a game that hit Steam a few weeks ago, and you play as like an old 8-bit witch who falls down a hole in her basement, and turns out her entire goddamn basement's full of glitches, and you got to clean up the glitches, but then you get various glitch powers, like the ability to jump very high or the ability to kind of like float across chasms, and you need to sort of learn how to weaponize your glitch powers to get through the various rooms in your ever-growing basement. So
it sounded like you were like,
love this.
You almost the way you were describing almost sounded like you were reading like rap lyrics.
This is my Babushka's Glitch Dungeon mixtape. Yeah.
Those witches be bitching.
Yeah, witches be bitching.
Is this like a conventional platformer with abilities, like a Metroidvania type thing?
Yeah, it's more of you very quickly are introduced to those various abilities, and you can only have 2 on you at any given time, and then you have to start realizing how to get to different areas with a certain glitch intact, because there's like objects in the environment that will remove all of the glitches from you, but then you kind of want to use those at a certain point. You have to use the fact that you can die and respawn at the beginning of the room with all of your progress done. There's like certain rooms that you're like, oh, I literally need to die in order to leave this room. And so it is cool. Yeah, like even like a little like Baba Is You in terms of like you have to really start thinking about like, oh, this like they're on kind of a different level.
There are rules here that I need to exploit.
Yeah. So it's in my mind, it feels like a 2D platforming version of like a Baba Is You or like a Void Stranger, even which you guys I know jammed through a couple times on Hidden Gems like a year or two ago.
Yes,
remember that Void Stranger? That's like the Sokoban.
Yeah. I think you were the one who suggested that for us as well, and then
like once a month, I get excited about one of these garbage-looking games.
Look, if you want, I'll play this on a hot Monday.
And sometimes they're cool. Yeah, I'll get a code for this and put it in the account. This is.
Wait, you talked about that game for like 2 episodes, and now you don't like it?
Oh no! Well, I talked about the game. I hyped the game up, and then it came out, and it was bad.
Oh, okay.
But I'm always going to like support. I'm always going to support Warm Monkey. Like, it's a big swing.
Support you existing, even though you suck.
We talked about it last. Did we talk about it last?
We did.
I wasn't here last.
I think Jess interrogated me about Warm Monkey. I was eventually like, no, it's bad. It's not fun to play. But shout out to Warm Monkey. Casey, what have you been playing / watching?
Been playing a little Doom. Mostly been playing Clair Obscur. Like I've been putting off finishing it. Like I could go to the ending thing and start the process to finish it at any time, but I really love how they handle their end game, and that they sort of like when Act 3 begins, they sort of say, "This is where the bad guy is. Now go." Like the whole world that you've been traveling this whole time and had difficulties navigating, you can kind of go wherever you want and just figure out how much you want to see, like level up if you need to before you go see the bad guy.
Yeah, remember all those places that said danger throughout the game? You can go back to them and maybe you can.
They still say danger, by the way. Like they're still really freaking hard. And that's the thing. Because of the way I play games and because this game has let me into, I guess, the language of JRPGs, where it's like, if this is a hard challenge, there and beat your head against it. That's what I did. Like if my guys are too weak, if they're dying in one hit, I just gotta get good. I just gotta not get hit. That's the solution.
That is insane. That is the like Dark Souls. That is the like you're looking at the parry system in this game and being like, I have all the tools I need.
Whereas because they give them to you. Yes, you do.
People who play RPGs are like, oh no, I just don't have enough stats. I'll just come back when I have more stats.
Right, and I hate that. That feels unfair to me. That feels like I don't get to play the game.
It feels bad when you come back and you're so over leveled compared to the thing. They're like, I should have came back way earlier in the game, and then like the rewards would have been useful. Now it's like, here's a level 10 Picto, and I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it that does feel good though when that happens, because like you'll come off of a fight where it's like I'm hanging on by a thread, and Mael is the only one in this party who was getting anything done.
Using Standhall, using that one move that just fucking rains swords on everyone. Oh my god!
I've not used that from her, and that's the thing. Like, there's so many different weird builds. Like, you can have a lot of luck with a character in several fights, and then come up against one fight where it's like the gimmick here just screws all your shit up. So now you got to go into the lab. You got to start twisting and turning everything around.
Like,
you got to make sure all the other
party?
like somebody here's the anchor, and everyone else is supporting this character with whatever they got going on.
By the end of the game, I thought there were no weak links in terms of characters and in terms of party members. I liked everyone's unique little playstyle.
Yes, they're all so fun to play, and they're all very useful. And like, the more you beat your head against a lot of those tougher endgame challenges, you find more uses because you get deeper into like, okay, I can't do anything with what I have now. Let me try this. Let me try that. And you find out, like, I have a really broken Lune right now. Like, she randomly like spawns like stains in her chakram, whatever that thing is called. They have a move that just every time that thing has stains of a different color, it just unleashes straight up hell on all the enemies.
Oh yeah, that one's amazing. Yeah, and it fires.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I have another attack that when I use it, it basically just spawns like half of my things are just white stains. The white stains are interchangeable with any element, so I get to use it all the time.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. I haven't thought about that.
She's super busted right now.
Yeah, because I have that ability, but I always have to like randomly like hope it lands on the 4 of them. Yeah. Ooh.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. I'll be done with it tonight at this point.
Yeah, you can get through the push is definitely like a single sitter at your level. And I just think I think it's one of those games that just really sticks to landing. Like, I just like it the entire way through. It's not one of those games where I'm like, it kind of peters off a little bit by the end. It's just, I just liked it more and more as I went through it, and I finished it, and I like it the most now. Yeah.
Are there other JRPGs that do that? That end game thing, because I really like that, and I feel like I haven't seen it.
That's like a big Final Fantasy thing. Like Final Fantasy 7 in my mind,
you get to
literally
do the
entire
thing.
third disc.
Gotcha.
Like you put in the third disc, and you're pretty much like, all right, you can go fight Sephiroth in the crater and finish the game, or you have a airship now,
okay,
and you can go do whatever you want in the world.
I've been missing out on that as a thing because I think that's such a good idea.
In my mind, that's like very much a like old school JRPG. Like, all right, you're at the end of the game. You could choose when you wanna do this.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Whenever the enemies use the inverse, all that would pop up in my head is that Simpsons character that goes, "Oh no, I'm in danger."
Oh no, I'm in danger.
Ralph Wiggum.
I started just like attaching those things where I'm like, fuck it, just give me one health point. Give me one health point, but 100%.
The crit.
Fuck it. Yeah. If I fuck up this parry, this is the only game I like parrying in. I'm realizing, or maybe the only game I'm good at parrying in. I think it's because it's very readable. It's very legible. I don't have to worry about my position.
You think what? You think this is a readable parry game?
Well, no, there's a lot of stuff going on screen. Yeah, you don't have to move around.
So many.
Like, it focuses you in on just those actions of dodge / parry.
Oh yeah, but there's so many visual effects, and they zoom the camera out so far.
There's a lot of visual. There are some times where the camera will like go a little bit underground. I'm like, what are you doing, camera? You need to stay up there. Stay up there.
Yeah. Not that I don't like it. It's just like some of them I was like, I just tanked the damage because I couldn't read it.
No, I think they could definitely clean up some of that noise. Do we think this is Speakeasy? Yes, do we think this is gonna be game of the year? This feels like a game of the year front runner.
Yeah, this is definitely my game of the year at present. We're like halfway through the year. This is for sure the best thing I played this year.
Yeah. It feels like at this point, this Kingdom Come and Blueprints have the best chance of getting nominations. If we're just talking about Keighley Game Awards.
Sure.
Those feel like the 3 games so far. I would say this probably of those probably has the like biggest.
It's the most accessible one out of the 3, I would say. For the crowd for the critics that will be voting on it.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, and it kind of like tapped in everyone's
the most that will complete.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
I guess Split Fiction too. I feel like nobody I know Split Fiction is really good. I know it sold really well, but I don't hear anybody talking about it like they talked about It Takes Two.
It's just It Takes Two. It's just more of that. I don't think it has that new car smell, which a lot of times I think that's almost like the Tears of the Kingdom thing, where it's like this might be better, but it's kind of the same thing.
Aesthetically too similar, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I loved It Takes Two. I just haven't felt like the pull to rush out and play Split Fiction, even though I've heard great things about it.
It's worth it. Like I had fun playing it. So
I'm sure I love it.
Yeah. Sorry, Casey. You watch anything else?
Oh, yes. I completed Andor season 1 with the fiance. I was gonna say I hadn't watched any Star Wars stuff for a while, but that's a lie because in getting ready for this, I was gonna watch Andor, and my fiance was like, "Oh, I want to watch that with you because you seemed excited about it." And I was like, "Well, this is gonna take forever, so let me watch something else."
Literally last week, you were worried that it was gonna take you months to get through Andor.
But we did, and that's the thing because oftentimes when I suggest something, and this isn't all the time, but oftentimes when I suggest something, it's because I really want to see it. And then if it's gonna be our show, sometimes she doesn't care. so she'll dilly dally and delay. Like, oh well, let me watch this, or I'm watching this. So it'll keep getting put off as we watch the thing that I want to watch. But she watched the first episode of Andor and was for some reason, because I honestly thought the first episode was a little bland, a little lackluster. I like the setup, but I didn't think it was drawing me in super heavy. But she was all in for whatever. She asked me to explain what Star Wars was about because she completely forgot.
Sure,
because she just wanted the context. Yeah, right. I'm like,
but it's hard to be when is this? And you're like, oh well, it's after these movies, but before these movies.
But then this happened, and there's these people called the Jedi, right?
And especially if you watch the Acolyte, and you have to be like, no, it's just nothing. Don't even worry. The Acolyte was really
right. Yeah, because I binged the Acolyte. I was like, none of this has anything to do with anything else. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so after it kind of set up the characters and whatnot, I really liked how all the pieces fell together in terms of the plot. It's a pretty standard story, right? It was like, hey, the hero who doesn't want to be a hero gets heroism forced upon him. And it's weird. Well, maybe not weird, but like it's very like they really just put oppression and like how fascism functions like front and center in such a tangible, readable way that it's almost cathartic to just see like, oh, okay, other people do know this is wrong. It's like the tone of this is that this is all bad. Wow. Yeah. Okay, great.
But it makes it understandable of how this happens,
yes,
and why this is allowed to happen, and
all the pieces of it working in tandem to do it.
The banality of evil, and then even a place like Ferrix, where you're like, we just kind of didn't want to rock the boat, and so we didn't say anything, but we've hit a point and we got lazy, and all of a sudden it's at our doorstep, and we need to do something now.
Yeah, like, and now we can't do anything but face it, right? Like it's that sort of, it's like a condemnation or like just a warning about apathy in the face of this sort of thing, which is so important right now.
Yeah.
Like what a message to be sending on Disney of all places.
Yeah,
something that like really stuck with me in the show is just like that feeling of inevitability, like where you're just, they have chosen the road that the government has chosen the road they want to go down, and we know where this is going.
Right. Yeah, like this won't hold.
Andor as a character is inevitable. Like if you've seen Rogue One, you know what happens to Andor. Like, so the idea of slowly moving towards there. But yeah, I'm really excited for you to watch season 2. Season 1 was great. Like that entire, like they're so good at these self-contained arcs that are so entertaining in their own right. Like the sort of the heist on that planet of all the Imperial money during the crazy meteor shower.
Yeah, it's crazy how much stuff they got through in that season.
Yeah,
like absolutely. it felt like that was like 2 seasons worth of stuff.
Almost. You feel like, oh, he was in prison for like a season. You're like, no, it was like 2 or 3 episodes. But like that feels like a huge thing with Andy Serkis and everything. And the second season is just as good. It just picks up and is just as good.
Nice, good to hear. Really, I'm going to be starting that soon.
Hell yeah. We won't spoil anything, but like episode 10 of season 2 is like the most emotionally invested I've ever felt in Star Wars. And it's not even close.
It's so good.
Like that episode.
It's just good until the end. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to the end, but that episode in particular better win every award that's on the books. Cause my God, like that one episode like reignited my love of Star Wars.
Well, good.
Nice.
Star Wars, you can still be good. Anything else, Casey?
No, catching up on Archer, but I'm rewatching some that I've had already watched because I've just forgotten it, and I just wanted, like, I'm rewatching the like the 20s
Archer forever.
20s season.
I probably watched the first 7 or 8 seasons, like every episode. And
I think a new one came out, which is why I was like, oh right, Archer. Let me go back.
I fell off when they did the Coma season.
That's where I'm at now. Yeah,
I don't think it's great.
It's not. It's not at its best, but it's still fun. And I'm trying to get through that to get back to the more to whenever he wakes up, because I don't think I've seen past when he wakes up.
Yeah. I thought is it still going, or I thought they canceled it?
I think it is still going.
No, they did cancel it.
It's canceled?
Yeah, in 2023.
No.
So I think the next season you watch is the last one.
No, there's a couple seasons after the Coma one, I think. Unless I'm tripping. The Coma one is what, season like 5? Because there's like 8.
There's 14 seasons.
There's 14 seasons?
Yeah. Casey, there's way more than I think. I've watched 8, and I stopped watching like fucking 10 years ago.
I thought the Coma season was like, does he go into Coma? Oh, Dreamland. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Dreamland, yeah.
There's a Coma season. Okay, there's 2 season of Coma.
He might be in the coma for 2 seasons.
Double coma.
Because he, at the very least.
Yeah, Mira says there are a couple coma
Yeah, there are 2 sides. Because there's one where he's like a He's whatever Baloo was in the Jungle Book spin-off cartoon.
There's 3 coma seasons.
There's 3 coma seasons.
That's too many coma seasons. I'm gonna be honest.
Because they did like a bunch of themed ones. Like there's the
island
one where
one.
the island, and then Dreamland, which is like a 40s Nor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Listen, if fucking Andor can go to prison and get out 3 episodes later, he can get out of his coma. 3 seasons. What are we doing?
Nor jungle and space. Oh, I think I haven't watched the space season. I'll have to go for it.
Yeah, I've not seen Space. They lost Jessica Walters, so I get it.
She's great. R.I.P. Mama Bluth. And then Laboratory Maniac with a $5 dono, going back to our Final Fantasy VI discussion. Suplexing the Phantom Train made it into one of the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. Laboratory Magic, if I don't unbox it, you know what I'm going to do? Buy another box.
You're gonna become a Magic the Gathering unboxing stream, aren't you?
I'm going to gather all the magic. I'm gather every bit of magic.
If you do get the train suplex card, will you stop? Like, is that the end game?
Is that the only card
I don't know what.
game?
I should have a card. I don't know what my favorite thing from Final Fantasy is.
What's? Oh man, I'm trying to remember what it's from. But there's that show where he's looking for the one card and he throws out every other card until he gets that one card. I can't remember what it's from though. And now I'm having an existential old man crisis that I can't remember what it's from.
The West Wing.
I don't think it's that.
President Bartlett is obsessed with finding one baseball card. No, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. It's also, I don't need an intervention. It hasn't started yet. If you come up to me and try to stop me, you're just a weirdo right now. I was going to tell you to back off. Come to me in a month when I have a problem.
Eric, you need to Photoshop Marty as Smeagol with a box of cards in his hands.
Yeah, but you don't need to worry about Smeagol before he kills Deagle.
Was there a character named Deagle?
Deagle, that's the dude he kills.
He kills his brother.
Kills Deagle.
Were they called Smeagol and Deagle?
I think
I don't think so. I don't think Smeagol's
I might be
brother
thinking of
was
Goofus and Gallant. I'm pretty sure Smeagol's. Chat, is Smeagol's brother named Deagle? And is he that boy Andy Serkis kills? Andy Serkis,
he killed his cousin.
Tino Loy in the prison arc.
He
does
killed
not
his cousin
swim.
Deagle.
How heartbreaking is it that he can't swim?
Deagle, also known as Nahald.
Yeah, I know it's Deagle Dog. I don't even know why we're going to chat. I knew that. I'm confident in my answers.
But he was his cousin, not his brother, you liar.
Whatever. I'm sure their parents
Close enough.
fucked each other. There's all sorts of weird shit going on. You see Gollum? You don't think he's a product of incest? Get the fuck out of
They
here.
were called Smeagol and Deagle. Yeah, that's definitely some cousin brother nonsense.
Yeah. Shut up, Deagle.
Is that what the hunt for Smeagol is going to be about?
What a mistake. What a mistake. Why would we
What a
make
stupid movie. I
also saw Eric posted the Avengers movies got delayed 6 months. Both.
Of course they did already.
So instead of coming May 26, it's coming December 26, and then Secret Wars, instead of coming May 27, it's coming December 27. You know what that means? Oh my God, we're gonna have some seasons with Avatar and Avengers. Avatar's coming back to theaters as well. Avatar 2.
Are you gonna go watch it this time?
Wait, why?
Why? Because it makes a fucking $2 billion.
Did some movie beat it and is trying to like take the crown back? Is that what's going on?
Honestly, that might be it.
Because somebody did that.
James Cameron's like, too many people are talking about Sinners and the Odyssey. I gotta show these fools who runs the streets with all my blue folks.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's cursed.
Oh yeah, there he is. Oh. Yeah, that's me. That's me in my Final Fantasy cards.
But you gotta sit in the corner.
I'm not gonna become weird looking until after.
Reminds me of that video I took a video in Iceland when we were filming the Eve doc, and Jay is sitting by the waterfall, like in the Smeagol pose, and I took a video of him doing that. It looks like he's trying to catch a fish,
smashing a fish to death. So juicy, sweet. Lovely. Yeah, I think that'll do it for us today. Casey, what do you have going on? What should folks check out in your neck of the woods?
The huge big Dokapon stream this Saturday. Me, Marty, Jesse, and Jess will be playing 6 hours of Dokapon Kingdom. Who knows how far we'll get in the game? It'll at least be 6 hours of fun with us.
I bet we'll beat a chapter.
Maybe. Who knows? No, there's no way to know.
It'll take us a solid hour to remember what was going on.
as per usual.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if there will be a wedding stream tomorrow night because like he's been really busy with like work stuff this week. Though she's at the Beyonce concert right now, so that's not busy. That's her just partying or whatever. But yeah, so I don't know yet. But if anything, I'll let you know on socials. Sigma Gears 9. But Super Smash Sunday on Sunday should be back this week, so check that out. 12:30 Eastern Standard on the Second Wind channel, then 2:30 Eastern Standard on my channel. And I think that's all I got right now.
I'm really excited to hear about the Beyonce concert. Nick, what do you got going on?
We'll have a new episode of Unpacked tomorrow as usual, and then working on some other projects. Doing a lot of business stuff. House stuff, yeah. Not too much going on that anybody else would care about but me. So
you talking about like house stuff, like your own home?
Like cleaning out my closet that I have stuff in that I moved.
The Eminem song
About
cleaning
out
my
closets.
closet. I said, "I'm sorry, Mama." Yeah, that was Eminem. He was sorry to his mama. He never meant to hurt her.
Just one time. The one time he was sorry to his mama.
Yeah, the rest of the times he was extremely mean to her. Although, according to 8 Mile, she was kind of mean to him.
Yeah, she seemed like a problem.
Shout out to Kim Mason, by the way. Friend of the show. Great. Tomorrow, outside of Unpacked, tune in at noon Central. There should be another Jess and Tina stream. I believe they're going to be playing some Sea of Stars at noon Central, so check that out. If it doesn't happen, it's not my fault. Can't blame me. What are you talking about? Not my fault?
Maybe if they don't stream tomorrow, I'll get Jess on to play tape to tape since I didn't get to do it on Tuesday.
You and your fucking hacky. You and your fucking tape to tapes. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, for supporting us, for listening on your podcast services of choice, and for being members of that Patreon. We really appreciate each and every single one of you. And George Lucas, that's a good thing. Yeah, next week, during Jack and Jess's normal Thursday slot, I'm going to be commandeering that. And we're finally going to make good on the several year-long promise of playing The Last of Us with Darren Mooney in a stream where we will talk a spoiler-filled chat of The Last of Us Season 2, because it'll be done by then.
Nice. So are you playing Last of Us 1 or 2?
Probably 2. That seems good.
All right. Yeah, I'll just watch you guys do that then, rather than play the game myself.
That's fine. I'll go in Seattle and we'll go rummage.
And I restarted the playthrough of 2, and just because I thought the show was very accurate to the game. It is not accurate at all.
No. Yeah, there's a giant zombie attack on in Wyoming. You're like, this is
I thought it did. It does not.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. So for Casey, for Nick, for Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 68. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evenings, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Big episode next week.
Y'all.
The 69th episode. Dinner for 2.